Catherine Moore. Catherine is an artist and carer who lives at Charlie's Forest, northeast of Braidwood, in a homemade, solar-efficient, solar-powered earth house. Sounds nice, doesn't it, Andrew? She's resided in Eden Monero since 1981, and she's been running a business, being a bar person, a waitress, a builder's labourer, a cycle courier, a picture framer, and a short-term contractor for the Australian Council for International Development. She completed 2 terms on the Pallarine Council between 2004 and 2012, and her latest painting is a landscape on the subject of a climate change Monero. I think this is federal election campaign number 3, Catherine, am I right for you?
Federal number 3, although my first one was Riverina, second one for Eden Monero, but my 13th as a candidate.
Okay, so there you go. She knows her way around an election ballot box. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the Greens, Catherine Moore.
Sounds a bit sad, doesn't it, the fact that I've been a candidate 13 times, but I am committed to the Greens and what we stand for. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians on whose land we're meeting and pay my respects to their elders past, present and future, and say thank you to QBN Council for having us. It's great to have this opportunity. The Greens, as always at this election, are standing up for what matters. And we have a fantastic raft of policy initiatives, all of which have been fully costed by the Parliamentary Budget Office, and they're all available online if you'd like to have a look. Some of those things that we feel matter, and many other people do too: affordable housing, health, preventative health, aged care, a $50 a week increase to New Start recipients, Denticare expanded to more than it is now, extending the National Disability Insurance Scheme to people over 65 who require a disability, fair indexation of Commonwealth and military superannuants, standing up for small business against the supermarket duopoly. We've just heard mention of small businesses closing. Well, one of the reasons for that is because of that duopoly of Coles and Woolworths, and that's causing a lot of businesses to become unviable, and reaching out to the most vulnerable people in the world, as well as, of course, restoration of funding to TAFE and funding to university. So how do we fund this? We feel in the Greens that it's time we asked the people and corporations in the country who earn the most to start paying a fairer share. So one of the things that also matters, and that hasn't been getting an airing at this election, very disturbingly, is the environment. We are seeing more and more species becoming extinct. We're seeing more and more areas of habitat being destroyed. We're seeing creatures that have nowhere to go being killed by machines in plantations because there's nowhere left in native forests for them to be. And we're seeing governments talk about a one-stop shop for environmental decisions and weakening national laws. The last thing we need to do is to hand over to the states to make decisions about development, because we've seen time and time again how the states focus on the developer need, not the environment and the community need. And it is a very disturbing concept to think that we would be handing over at this time of all times to the states to, excuse me, it's very mouth-drying doing this, to make those decisions. We need to make sure that we get national parks included in strong environmental legislation too, so that we can't start logging in national parks. We're seeing mining happening in the Tarkine. We've just seen mining approvals in Queensland for coal mines in the Galilee Basin. This is appalling at a time in history where the UN report, I just caught a glimpse of it today, is looking at 5 degrees warming and 82 centimetres of sea level rise. So, just very quickly, we need to do politics differently if we want to achieve all this. We need principled decision making. We need to focus on issues, not on personalities. We need to not make personal attacks. We need to work together cooperatively so that we can make decisions for the future. We need accountability from our elected representatives. We need openness about donations. Any donation made after July the 1st will not be declarable until 2015, and only if that's over $12,400. So we're not seeing who is giving what to our decision makers. We need decisions made for the greater good, not personal gain, so that in 50 years, in 100 years, our children and our grandchildren can look back and thank us for the decisions we made today and be assured of a safe and a healthy future.